Yeah, so I'm recording for so we can put it in on the platform for those who can't see it, or if you want to see it afterwards, you can review it. Hello, Francisco. Good to have you. Hello. So we have a kind of quick or short topic for tonight, but maybe we have many questions afterwards. I just wanted to show you an example of an easy way of logging your nutritional values, the macros. Uh, uh, some of this you guys are already using it. It's an app. It's a free app, MyFitnessPal, and it has. Hello, George. It has some good functions that I wanted to show you. Hello, to make life easier for if you want to log your intake, your nutrition, then it's a really this is really a good, I mean, free app you can use. There are many other apps, but definitely this is a good one. And it has some nice features. I just wanted to show you quickly how to use it. And then we can talk a little bit about it. We can talk a little bit about how to manage your macros. And then, of course, how you can manipulate maybe your weight or some of the things through the macros. The system Marlies and I always do is first really we need to know your intake. So how the split of the macros is. And I mean, really the best way is to use an app like that, because then sometimes you're really surprised with the outcome. Then when you know the split, of course, then we first can start manipulating and maybe changing a bit. In most cases, we change towards the proteins, try to up the proteins, try to lower a bit of the carbs. What we found is we're not strictly keto, that around 100 grams in your daily meal of carbs, which is around 400 calories, is a good go-to value, and the rest is fats of what you need. I know some of you already did a whole journey with that. Well, Brian, we just talked about your running, but I know Brian went through all kind of stages, like he totally almost stopped with carbs, and then got back, and now we're on a good balance. So this app just is a good way how you can manage it. And let me show you. Let me just dive into it quickly. First, let me see if I have the app here. Yes, so I'm going to share my screen with you. So here it is. This is you see the URL is just myfitnesspal.com, and you can create an account also in the free version. In the free version, of course, some of the functions are limited, and you get ads. You see, you always get the ads around it, and you see my preference in decathlon is about biking, so this but this always happens. I don't care too much about the ads. If you don't want it, of course you can buy the paid version. But most of the functions you find in the paid versions are more so how to manage your food. And the thing is that managing the food in general is really carbs based and everything, carbs focused. So I'm not interested too much in the management aspects of MyFitnessPal paid version. So that's why we just use the free version, which is good enough. And here you see what it looks like. This is one of my inputs from June 19th. By no means, Marlies and I logging every day everything. It is more that it gives you some insight if you don't really know what you're doing, and it is good for every now and then checking if you're still on the right track. So by no means we want you to kind of keep logging and tracking your food every day. So what you see here is the way they use it is the goal. minus the food. That's all calories plus exercise. So this is just an example. I'm not actually using breakfast, so we are only taking lunch and dinner. But MyFitnessPal always has 3 meals, and then they have snacks and everything. So the minimum amount of display for MyFitnessPal is 3. So the breakfast has to be here. But in fact, we are not taking any breakfast. So we're looking at lunch and dinner, and then you have the totals. That's very nice because then you can see the carbs, the fats, 158, the proteins right away, which is this is the big thing from the app, to have a quick overview of what you're doing. And then they have also here like 2 fields for micros, like real sugars. I mean, so the not the natural sugars, but the added sugars, sodium. You can put here all kind of fields, and then you have the total amount of calories. And then that's really funny here, because you also have here the option to add your exercise. Let me see if I have it here in this one or that one. Yes. So what I did here is I inputted my 2-hour bike ride, which was this day. It was almost 2,000 calories. It was a 2.5-hour bike ride, quite fast, 32 kilometers average. And here I simply used my my Garmin output of the exercise. But now here's the trick. I'm going to show you how easy it is with the app to add a food and to input your exercise. Because look here, for instance, here, if I under lunch want to add food, I click it now. And let's say I'm going to add, I want to add apple, but the good thing is it remembers all the types of food I ever inputted in for lunch. So you don't need to do it over and over again. And you can also, let's say I add tuna and then just add the checked, but you can also still change the quantities of everything from it. So it is quite convenient for quickly inputting what you're eating. And in fact, what Marlies and I found out is that our nutritional plan isn't that diverse. It's basically most of the time we're eating the same things, which is I mean easy for inputting as well. So the coconut butter, almonds, a bit of crushed nuts over your over the yogurt. I'm eating a lot of the fermented coals, like the sauerkraut and things like that. So that's really convenient. So you don't need to input it over and over again. And now here it is. If you tell MyFitnessPal where you live, and when I say potatoes, then and I search, then it comes in what I found many cases with the potatoes of your particular groceries and supermarkets that are nearby. So that's also convenient, that you're not getting exotic brands and things. So you will find the ones you will most familiar with probably here in this list, and I find that very helpful. All right, here we go. So this is basically how it works to add food to your daily input. And of course, then let's say, for instance, if you drink a cappuccino or a cafe latte, you can create it, and then you create the exact type of cappuccino with a spoon of coconut oil with 50 milliliters of milk or something like that. So you can really create it, and that's also here. you can see here, the food diary, the database, my foods, my meals, and you can even input your recipes. So you can create meals, and you can remember the foods you have. So that's pretty convenient. Then same with exercise. If you say, hey, I'm going to add this day an exercise, I can do it here, cardiovascular or strength exercise. You say add exercise. Let's do cycling. Oh, that's a stupid ad you see there. And then you see cycling. All right. Cycling 26 to 32 kilometers per hour, which is around, what is it? 20 miles or so. They call it very fast. I click on it. Then I say, how long did you do that? Let's say for 90 minutes. And then it calculates the calories burned as a rule of thumb, of course, because they don't know my weight. They don't know my bike and everything, but I'm fine with that. And then you add exercise to it. All right. So Marlies and I are pretty confident, and we know of the students who are using this. They are also pretty confident. And now, for instance, Linda Chapman from Australia, she did this for 2 weeks, and then she created very nice reports for us. And let me show you how easy that is. All right, so let me go to this food. So on the 19th, I know I did some input there. All right, so you have my food here. And now this is really simple. I just copy it with the command copy, and then I go to my sheet. So you can do it in your own personal sheet, and then you take a field and you do paste, and there you go. So this is another really easy way of if you would like to share it with us and you would like to share a report with us, then this is really a convenient way. Or you would like to share it with someone else, or if you have a dietist or you have someone else you'd like to share it with, then you just put it in your spreadsheet, or you put it in a table in Word, and there you go. I think Linda puts it very nicely in a Word table, and then exports it from Word to PDF. But that's really helpful that it works like that. So that's basically it, what I wanted to show you guys. So yeah, let's first talk about this. Let's first talk a little bit about the app. All right. So if you have any questions about this, I hope I can answer it, because I'm not MyFitnessPal specialist, but please feel free to if you have any questions.
Okay. Yes, I have.
Yes, Marcella, please.
So as far as I understood, when we register to this application, the list of food is empty. So we have to fill with the food that we eat, right? So at the beginning, the list of food is empty, and then we have to search for the food we eat. Is that what we have to do?
Yes, it's
Okay.
good. Well, it's a good question. And the list of food in general they have, it's a very long list.
Okay. So there is a part of a list already prepared.
In there, yes. And you have to select what you eat, and then you put it in, and then it remembers your list as well.
And for example, when I eat a mixed salad, very mixed, I mean with different, so do I have to become crazy to understand all the food? Or so for example, if I have two kinds of salad, some tomatoes, some sardines, and other stuff. For example, if there are just a little bit of some onion, green onion. So how detailed we have to be?
Yeah, let me show you. Let me show you. All right. So first of all, Marcella, if you look here, let's say I don't have a breakfast. So if I add food here, I click add food, okay? Then you see there is, here is a list. Let's say eggs.
Yes.
So I search for eggs. Then you get a whole list of eggs, and those are eggs from the database of MyFitnessPal, right? And as soon as I input here one egg, and I add it to my to the diary, then you see it appearing here. You see? Now here's one egg.
Yeah, yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But also MyFitnessPal now added the egg to my personal list. So next time when I add another day food to my breakfast, it already shows, hey, here's your short list of egg and things. So that's the first answer. The second is you can create my meals and you can create recipes, so personal recipes. So if at home, as Marlies and I do, we basically have 2 or 3 types of salad we often eat, like green salad with tomato and eggs and olive oils and things, and then we have a more a bit heavier salad with tuna and kind of things. So then you just create your recipe once.
Okay.
And then you can keep on using it, because then the system calculates all the calories and nutrition that is in it and displays it in the table.
So the first time with this system, we want to create the recipe of a mixed salad. The first time we have, in a certain way, to measure all the ingredients, how much we put, right?
Well, it's easier. You just say you just start creating it, and you just click the ingredients.
Okay.
And if you say one piece of green salad, six tomatoes, that kind of thing. So it's quite easy.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't really need to measure like in a recipe. You can say, if you have a let's say a regular meal with a bit of potatoes and a bit of vegetables and a bit of meat, you just input it. And I mean, it's relatively easy to do.
Okay.
Final answer, Marcella, just to give you an idea, Marlies and I always take after dinner a big rich Greek yogurt with some fruits, fresh fruits in it, and a bit of crunched nuts and everything, and a bit of cream, and then that's once you input that for once, then the next time you just click it and you're done.
Okay. Bye.
Yes, Dave, please.
So I have a couple of questions. I use the app, MyFitnessPal, and one thing that they have with the app that I didn't see when you're doing the thing about the adding different stuff on the app, they have scan a barcode. So if you've got I don't know, some okay, for Marcella, a box of pasta, you can just take your phone, scan the barcode on the box of pasta, and it'll automatically find that and say, here are the macros for a 1 serving of this pasta. So that's what I do, and I find that works really well. But I didn't see that in the web version. You know, is that possible on the web version? Obviously, you'd have to have a camera, but I would assume most laptops and stuff have.
Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think it is on the. I showed you the lab version apparently, and
yeah,
I don't think it's on there, and on the mobile it is. Yes.
Yeah. And,
Yeah.
and then similarly, while you're showing yours on the computer version in the web browser, you can easily see all the items that you selected for your meals. And I don't see any way to do that on the app version. You know, is that possible?
Let me check it for you. Let me check it, because that's the I'm using the laptop version,
Yeah.
and I think that's one of the most convenient parts of it.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
there's been a couple of times that I wasn't sure if I added something for one of my meals, but I couldn't figure out a way to see what I've added. I
Yeah.
can just see the totals. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, I'm not really sure, but let me make a note and then try to find if I can find it on my phone app as well.
Okay, thanks.
I think it should be there. It's obvious it should be there because it's such a convenient function.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? No? Well, then we're basically done, because this is basically what we wanted to show you. But let me also quickly show you Marlies and our view on so what happens if people say we want to lose a bit of weight, or I want to gain a bit of weight. Well, and of course the split of the macros, how it is split, because we had these discussions in I think it was around February, March, where we really talked about the macros and the split and how to manipulate basically the split. And let me give you this example here. You see the total is almost 2,400. And for me personally, and that's of course different for everybody, but for me, 2,400 is around the go-to total kilocalories I'm looking for during the week. And of course, one day I'm in deficit, and one day when I have a very passive day behind the desk, probably my basic metabolism will be like 1,800 or something like that. So, but in general, I stay on the same weight. I'm really almost 81, 82 kilos, which is 160, 175, 176 or something like that in pounds. So, and then you can say, hey, if I want to lose a bit of weight, what do I need to do? Or if I want to gain a little bit of weight. Well, first of all, Marlies and I look at what's your total in the macros. And the carbs here in this case, this day was 98, which is in our view, okay. And the proteins is 135. Well, with my weight of 80 kilos, so 170 pounds, that's a bit on the low side. And the fats is 163. And that makes the total amount of calories. So first of all, we would, if we would analyze here, and you can do that for yourself, I'd like to up my protein intake. If I know it's over the week, it's a little bit different, because like today, I know I have had more proteins than just 135. But let's say it would be like this. Then first, I would like to look for ways to increase my protein intake. And we talked about that. And we talked with you guys in person about that too, how you can do it. Convenient ways when you're vegan, a bit more complex, but you get there. Then we always try to stay below or at around 100 grams of carbs per day. So basically, you regulate the total calorie intake with the fats, and that's the easiest way. So once we reach the split in your macros, which we think is okay, then after that we can look at how can you reduce a bit of the total calories, like let's say 100, per day or 150 or 200 because we're not a dieting club. I mean, we don't want to quickly lose weight. We want to do it very, very, very slow. Let's say over weeks and at least for let's say over 2 or 3 months. So you maybe only need to lose 100 kilocalories per day. And then Marlies and I will always tell you, hey, you have to look at your fats and your carbs first. As long as you're with the carbs around 100 or a bit below, and as long as you're with the proteins in the sufficient ranges. And that is how you control it. And the good thing is that it's very easy controllable because most of the fats and the carbs you can reduce are in the little extras like your Greek yogurt with fruits, or maybe the mashed potatoes with your meal and that kind of things. And the little additions like a handful of nuts or something like that. So that's what I'd like to also add to the discussion. That is how basically you manage these numbers. Do you have any questions about that?
Well, what I like to add is that if you scroll further down, Bas, and you see that circle, you can even fill out your goals in these 3 macros. And because the normal macro how it visualizes it from MyFitnessPal, it's still the old belief that we need a lot of carbs throughout the day. So it will not look like this. So you can make your own, and then you can fill out your goals in percentage of your total food intake in one day. And the easiest ways to do that is to start with your protein, because you know that you would like, and you target on the 2 gram of protein per kilogram weight of your own weight. And so that you can easily fill out the total proteins to start with, what you need over a day. And then on top of that, you know about where we want you to be with your carbs intake. And then the fats automatically will be the leftover portion. So when I have mine as a go-to, I filled out my circle and I end up with a 25% intake for my proteins of the total calorie intake in one day. End up with 25% of my total calorie intake contained carbs, carbohydrates, and I end up that my total fat intake is half of my calories, of my total calories throughout the day. So that is also a guideline if you start with using MyFitnessPal. Maybe you can show the screen, Bas, with where you can fill out these goals.
Yeah, that's I think the settings.
Because I did that, I think I showed that with Francisco.
Yeah.
The call, Francisco, you remember? Yeah, there you go. I think we started with home, maybe even. Home, yeah. And then goals. Is that it? Goals? There. I think that was the one. There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
All right. Yes.
Yeah. So here you can see that your daily nutrition goals, you can add them and you can calculate your total calorie intake. And then based on that, you can fill out the percentage of your carbs, fats, and proteins, so the 3 macros. And then it will automatically show in the circle after filling out your whole day where you are with the 3 macros. I think it's very useful to start with. So you have an idea where you are, and then you can easily copy that every day. And then you know about where you are on a daily basis, because you get used to your own, habits, food intake.
Yeah.
There you go. So
Yeah, here you see
5 and 30. Yeah, there you go.
Right. Yes. So yeah, this is how I did it.
So this is something you need to fill out yourself as well, because the normal to start with from MyFitnessPal is not, it doesn't look like this.
No, it's just 50% sugars.
There, yeah.
Yeah, the FitnessPal is doing that's the default.
That's a no.
Yeah. Okay.
I
So-
got it.
Yeah, you got it, Rob. Yeah,
Yep.
I think you were using from the last call we did. You start using it.
No, I was at that stupid island, so I just got back today.
Oh, yes. Oh, from the family.
Mm.
I
Oh,
was
right.
running around in the dark on dirt roads up and down stupid hills. It was ridiculous. It was like 100 degrees Fahrenheit. I sweated 8 million carbs.
Yes, but that happens with family reunions.
Mm.
Everybody's baking cakes, and you can't say no.
That's exactly right.
Yes.
Anyway, it's over, thank God.
Yeah.
All right.
Hey, hello, Sharon. Good to have you.
Hello.
Hello. I don't know, Sharon. You know MyFitnessPal? I can't
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
all
know.
right.
Yeah.
All right. So I just gave a little demo where you're now talking about the settings and everything. Okay. So do you have any questions, guys?
Oh, yes.
Yes, please.
Maybe is I don't know, a stupid question, but when we feel and we see the system calculates carbohydrates, protein, and fats, then for each of us, in my case, for my weight, the fact that I am a woman, my age, how can then I understand if I'm going good or not? So, because one thing is to feel with all what we eat, but then we have to evaluate what we are doing. So, this system gives us the calculation, I mean, but to understand if we are going in the right direction or not, it's how we do is just, of course, speaking with you and have suggestion, or this application more or less has also something to where you put I am a woman, I am 62, my weight is this, and the system tells you something, or is just to have the calculation of what you eat? So that is
Yeah.
my question.
Oh, and that's by no means a stupid question, Marcella. I think it's the most essential question you're asking. I can tell you how Marlies and I handle this in our review with the Centraton. The first thing we always ask is to log what you are doing, basically, for a couple of days. That's the same with the GKI index, you know, the glucose ketones index, the diabetes, pre-diabetes, the whole levels. We first, and also for you yourself, you need to know what you are doing given your current base state. Because when you have a constant weight, you may feel a bit like overweight, or you may feel a bit like that you have too much sugar. But first you need to know how it is done. So for the way you eat, you first start logging, and then basically we have a good view on what you eat, your current pattern, and why you are at this certain weight, being a woman of a certain age, with this kind of exercise you're doing during the day and everything. So then you have a kind of the package for your balance. And that's what we first need to know. And then after, we are going to look at it and make changes.
Okay.
And the first thing we are going to do in our Centraton view is not telling you have to diet and you have to be so and so, and BMI index has to be so and so. No, we look at the split in the macros. because in most cases, and you're not there anymore, but in most cases of 95% of all people in the Western world eat too many carbs, simply. So that's our first directive then. Hey, how can we go away a little bit from the big pasta pile, and instead of having the big pasta pile and a bit of sauce on top of it, how can we change it and eat a bit more sauce and a bit more veggies and add a little pasta at the corner? So then we're changing the macros. And in most cases, the total amount of calories remains the same. So you're still not losing weight because you're still doing the same. And then once you are in the good balance with the macros, and sometimes we speak, and we did with you too, about a bit supplements, a bit like additional things like maybe creatine and maybe vitamin D and maybe magnesium and that kind of things. And if we have the whole package right, then we can say, hey, now, Marcella, you are doing fine. You feel good. You're doing workouts almost 3 times a week. You are running and you're exercising. Now, what would you like to do? Would you like to lose a bit of weight? Or do you think you're okay? Or some people even want to gain a little bit of weight because they simply feel they're too fragile and too weak. And then we do what Marlies just said. We're going to look at the macros and say, hey, I wouldn't touch the proteins. If you want to lose some weight, maybe 100 calories from carbs per day here, and maybe a couple of grams fats, also less. So what I'm doing, my personal story here is, if I control my weight, I do it through my fats because I have enough proteins. I have really not many carbs, so I can control my weight through my intake of of fats. And that is, for instance, if I add to my bulletproof coffee 1 or 2 tablespoons of coconut oil or not. And so when I drink 2 cups of coffee in the morning, when I'm not adding the coconut oil, it's already maybe 150 kilocalories per day. And that means you're losing maybe half a kilo in a week. That's automatic. It's without dieting. It's just a little bit of manipulation. So that's the easy way. But first, we need to balance and control and know you have the right palette, the right package.
Okay.
So thanks for the question. Good one. Very good one. Yes, George, please.
You're muted.
Sorry. Okay. No, this looks pretty cool because, the last couple of weeks I've been tracking my macros manually, on paper and stuff. So this, it's going to save some time because now I won't have to spend a lot of time on the calculator summing up all these columns. So I can see the benefit there. So I'll give it a go. I did have one. I think it's kind of a minor question on the nutrition goals, because I was going to ask a question, but then you showed they actually will let you track each of the macros, the percent by calories for each macro, and it sums to 100. But so my question was, if that's the case, when I do it manually, here we go. Should show up in a minute. Okay, you see that?
Yeah, we see it.
Okay, that's my macros from yesterday, and I'm on my targets. As Marlies and Baz, they had me focus on protein first. So I'm for 75 kilograms, that's 150 grams. So you can see I hit my protein goal of 160 and a half at the bottom, and the one that's hard that Coach Baz was talking about. I mean, usually when try to hit your protein goals, you know, you're gonna be gaining weight because the carbs are so darn high. And so that was my second objective, which I've been able to do, but I got to pay attention. I mean, every day I gotta decide which, you know, food am I gonna not eat today so I can keep my carbs in grams below 100. So this day was kind of a good day, 89.5. But the good thing, but this brings me to my nutrition goal question. So at the bottom, you see I track the protein, carbs, and fat by percentages, and then I add them up. And it looks like MyFitnessPal enforces that to be 100%. But usually you got four things to deal with. You got your proteins, fats, and carbs, and then the calories. But because of the relationship, 4 calories per gram of carb, 4 calories per gram of protein, and 9 calories per gram of fat, it doesn't add exactly to the calories. So I always like to double check what that sum is, because sometimes it'll be 98%, 102%, because the packaging isn't 100% correct. So my minor question is, how does it enforce the addition to 100%? Do you know, or does it do some ratioing? It says, oh, okay, it adds up to 102%, and then it ratios everything down a little bit so it makes sure it's 100%.
Yeah, my answer, George, it's I had, of course, I had the same question too, but it's not exactly 4, 4, and 9. So that, for me, that is the answer. I don't know if there's a better answer, but it's not exactly the rule of thumb of the 4 and the 9 calories per gram.
Yeah, there's sometimes 4, 4, 8. Say
Something, yeah.
Yeah.
And it also has to do with the kind of for sure with the proteins, the type of proteins, and so yeah, I can imagine that sometimes you are not exactly at 100%. So
okay, yeah, it's no big deal. I mean, I think
I know, yeah.
It's I mean, just the time savings, not having to manually write down all the numbers and then not having to sum up all the numbers. I mean, because that's why we have spreadsheets now, right? So
yeah.
And the nice thing I liked was that it record if you put in a small apple, it'll just be in your library when you enter it again. You don't have to look, because I do spend a lot of time flipping back and forth in pages, because I said, I know I ate that item a few days ago and I don't want to go to the pantry, or I threw away the packaging already. So it is kind of nice to have that memory for each item that you do.
Right. Yes.
Anyway.
Yeah, but it's a very good point. And with MyFitnessPal, I think the function that you can, once you input, can still manipulate the amount per item and still the grams. So when it's a big apple, of course, or sometimes you can say you can split it up in portions, like with potatoes. And then you can say, all right, I had a bit more of potatoes tonight, so I do 1.5 portion of the default amount of potatoes I have. So that's how we do it. But, and also, George, most of us, for some reason, are technicians. The group I'm seeing on the screen right now, we are definitely well, you're not, Sharon, but we have a lot of tech
engineers in the house.
Engineers.
That's why I've had MyFitnessPal for a long time.
Yes. Yeah.
The nice thing I like about MyFitnessPal is that I put my own meals in, so you can create your own meal, and it'll put all the ingredients in and have your own recipe, and it helps you out there. That's what I use it for a lot.
Yes, that's your question, Marcella. That's the answer to your question. That is also how Sharon does it. But I had a call with Aaron this week, and we were talking about this, and he is an engineer as well. He said, oh, I don't need to get kind of obsessive with the numbers, because he says, oh, boy, I don't want to get too obsessive with everything in detail, with the size of the apple and the potato and everything. And that's, of course, that's not our intention. So, right. Any more questions?
Well, I can just make a comment.
Yes, please.
Well, it's off topic, but with respect to rounding errors, I was some time ago when I was doing marathons, I was trying to figure out pace, and it never worked out correctly. And then I finally realized that a marathon distance was actually not 42.2, it was 42.195. And that made all the difference because I was looking I was looking at my kilometers in minutes and seconds, and that gave me the rounding error. So it never really worked out correctly. But anyhow, I mean, you really don't have to be that picky when you're worried about food.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. So yeah, basically what we're saying is it's a good help. MyFitnessPal is really a good help for logging and tracking it for a couple of days, and then you have already this impression, and then then you really know where you are and what you're doing. So then you can start manipulating, and then maybe that week we have to call together and we can look at the numbers and everything. We can go over it and make some changes for getting in the right direction. And I know for you, for instance, Brian, for you, it's not a problem having enough or losing weight or anything. So for you, you have a different objective than maybe someone else has, and that's good. I mean, and that's the same with my basically the strategy we have. So once you have your macros and you have your micros and the supplements and everything, then you know more or less the amount of fats and carbs you're doing on an average day. And for me, for you, Brian, you're with the skiing. I'm the skating. I'm doing the speed skating in the winter. I need to gain a bit of muscle, even a bit of weight, because it's pancake flat. So the weight is not that important. Power is. So in wintertime, I don't mind to gain 1 or 2 kilos. Also, even a bit of body fat. That's really, it feels better if you're doing ice speed skating. But in summer, when we start doing the cycling and the running and here the dunes and everything, then of course you lose again. And with this system, it is easy to really control your weight this way. Right.
I like that. I'm going to download it and check it out.
Right. Cool.
Yeah.
All right then. Well, so then.
Thanks, boss.
Yes, if there are no more questions, Rob, thank you. Francisco, do you have any questions in particular, or is it all clear?
I think you're muted.
Oh, we don't hear you.
Yeah. Yes. Okay, sorry. No, I don't have any questions, and thank you for the explanation. I would recommend a lot to use the phone. If you use the phone, you have the app all the time at hand, and you can connect it. The scan of the barcode is only for the paid version. It's very useful sometimes, but maybe you use it once, and then as Bas said, the information is there, so you will find it again. So it's very useful, but it's not essential. And I was looking, while you were talking, Bas, I was looking at my diary in the last 10 days that we reviewed yesterday with Marlies, and I can see the pie. I'm not hitting the proteins by far. So that's why I haven't lost weight in the last couple of weeks. So now with the pie, I will track like the protein and how it moves. So thank you.
Yes. Well, a good addition, because this is probably what we all had to deal with. The protein is in most cases the most difficult to get healthy proteins in. So, and we can talk about that, of course. All right.
I might have missed it, but it's just the basic one you're saying to do, right? The base, like not paying for the PayPal?
Yeah.
Oh, Yeah.
Yeah,
okay. 'Cause I actually,
yeah.
I have a scan and I don't pay. And mine scans all the codes and I don't pay any, so I'm not
Yeah.
sure. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that was Dave was saying the phone. I think the free phone version scans the
Yeah.
codes.
Yeah, it
And
does.
all right, so all right, Dave, that's confirmed.
Yeah, sorry, my bad. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think the laptop version does. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Sorry, I didn't mean to have a redundant question, but I wanted to make sure it wasn't
Yeah, but
the right
I'm
one.
happy. I'm happy you confirmed because that was one of the questions we had.
Oh,
Okay,
All right.
Just
Yes.
one last thing on the carbs. Yeah, so I think we already talked, you know, once you get up to your protein levels, then the carbs tend to stay high. So then it's a real challenge to bring that down. And I found, you know, just a little creativity helps, you know, because on the days you want to be below 100, you're probably going to miss out on quite a few things, you know, you want to eat, and then you might have to put them off to the weekend, you know, like spaghetti and meatballs and marinara. If I eat that during the week, I just cut out the spaghetti. So
That's right.
It's just marinara meatballs with chopped up onion and bell peppers. And then, and it tastes great. You know, I don't miss pasta, but if I did miss the pasta, I'd have to put it off to the weekend, because otherwise it's going to zoom up to 150 or 200 grams on the
Wow.
carbs.
Yeah.
you put
That's
on
the way to
spaghetti
do it.
squash. Spaghetti
As soon
squash
as you're
is
not
awesome.
looking, or squash, as soon as you're not looking, that carbs, it just explodes. If you don't record it for a day, that's the day it's going to go up.
Yes. Yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's exactly if you get into this kind of view and taste, well, Marlies and I, and even our daughters, you know, the critical 19-year-old girls, ladies, who are flying out already and having comments on everything we cook and that we advise. But sometimes we do have days, exactly what you're saying, George. Marlies and I just don't want to have carbs, so we cook like a nice plate with chicken and lots of vegetables and everything, tomatoes on it and everything, and we're not even making rice or you know, the spaghetti, and it is great. I mean, so for us, so for Marlies and me, it's really that we don't want it even, that we really don't want to add it to it. And then sometimes the girls say, "Hey, where's the spaghetti?" And then we say, "Hey, today we forgot." You know, it's just not there. But then they say it's okay because the taste is good. All right. Anything else, guys? No? All right then.
Thanks for me. I got to jump.
Yes, you're welcome. It was a great call. Thank you. And book your calls for the next weeks or so. Most of you did. So then let's speak and let's have the next call on next Wednesday for sure.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank you.
great day.
Take care.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.